Hello, hello. Welcome back to Crazy Effing Mommy, episode 133. I'm your host, Elyse DeLucci. How you doing, everybody? Welcome to Manhattan. Welcome to the Upper East Side. You're in my living room. We're about to talk. I took last week off from the podcast, so I missed talking to you. I had to get my book to the publisher and iron out some last minute details, but it's good. We're there. I don't know. I'll have more information when it's available for sale soon. It'll be on Amazon and at Barnes & Noble. You can order it online. And then I think I'll have it on my website too. Anyway, okay, fact of the day. Long Acre Square was the former name of Times Square back in 1904. Could you die? I never heard of this before. It used to be called Long Acre Square, and then the New York Times moved in. They had a building right in Times Square. And that's when the square adopted its name as an homage to the newspaper. I was going through some books and I was looking through some old historical books about the city that I have, and I came across these facts. And, like this fact, and another one was in 1905, the first pizzeria in America was opened, Lombardi's on Spring Street. It's right I think it's like off of Prince or something. I don't know. It's right in Nolita, north of Little Italy. It's worth going if you've never been there. If you've never been to Lombardi's, it's worth going. You can't get a slice. You do the whole pie. It's a restaurant, so you get a table, which I like. That's always nice. It's not an on-the-go kind of a joint. And, if you're in that area, there's lots to do. There's shopping. There's the old St. Patrick's Cathedral, which I told you. I went to see the catacombs not too recently, which was very cool. Actually, after the catacombs, we went to try to go to Lombardi's to sit down and have some lunch. And here's the thing. Filled with tourists. Now, I have mixed feelings about tourists. Not a big fan. But your city's good when you have a lot of tourists. You know what I'm saying? But then if you live here in the city, and you want to go out for a nice pizza restaurant, do you really want to have people taking pictures and talking about where's the Statue of Liberty the whole time? No, it's like, get out of my face kind of thing. And, in the nicest way possible. I just feel like sometimes I can't be bothered. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, we wound up going to Joe's Pizzeria, which is all the way down on Bleecker and 6th Avenue. So if you go to Lombardi's and you can't get a table and you still want pizza, it's worth checking out Joe's, which is amazing. Just a slice, no tables. You stand outside, you eat the pizza. Or you could go around the corner down on Bleecker, and you could go to John's Pizzeria, which is another restaurant, sit down, whole pie type of deal. I have a lot of people that listen to this podcast, and they're not from here. And they're like, oh, when you talk about New York places, I write them down, da-da-da. So, there you go. There you have it. Your Greenwich Village Nolita pizza directory. By the way, if you go to Greenwich Village, that strip of Bleecker Street where John's Pizzeria is very nice. You have John's on Bleecker, and then you have a couple doors down. You have Faico's, which is the famous pork store. I go there to buy my cheese and parsley sausage. Sometimes I go and get some cutlets or some chopped meat, whatever. Next door from that, you have Murray's Cheese Shop. Across the street, you have Rocco's Bakery. Okay, which is one of the last standing Italian-American bakeries or Italian bakeries in Manhattan. Sad but true. Okay, you have Our Lady of Pompeii. That's right on the corner. That's a big Roman Catholic church. My family used to go to that church. And if you go into the church, first of all, it's a gorgeous church. But if you want to look at the names of the donation plaques on the wall, it's like taking a step back in time to when the neighborhood was really Italian. All of the names, on the plaques, it's mozzarella, it's cannoli, it's the whole thing. And it was funny, actually, because on Ash Wednesday, I went into that church because I wanted to get ashes, which I'll tell you about that after. That's a whole nother thing. I wanted to get ashes, and I walked into the church, and I don't, I'm a New Yorker. I don't even pay attention to what race, ethnicity people are, because it's a melting pot here, right? But when I walked into Our Lady of Pompeii, I think I was thinking I was going to see or be amongst a bunch of Italians, getting their ashes on Ash Wednesday. And instead, it was an international mass that was starting at 6:30. And it was a lot of Chinese and Filipino people there. And it just went to show, I was like, wow, this area is just like totally different. And it kind of made me realize like what a relic Faico's is and Rocco's Bakery and the whole bit. But it's worth going to Our Lady of Pompeii if you're in that area. Check it out. Check out the plaques on the wall. It's taking a step back in time. And then on the other side of Rocco's, you have Venki, which is a beautiful gelato shop. They have them in Italy. I just saw them in the Motherlands. They have the most delicious gelato. I swear to God. In Manhattan, there's two places that I love for gelato. Venki, which is there, and then on Bleecker and 6th. And then there's Anita Gelato on the Upper East Side. And both equally delicious, both expensive. The gelato down in Greenwich Village on 6th and Bleecker, it's like $9 for a cone. It's like, I love you, but like really, since when is $9 okay for a cone? Anyway, and then you have Joe's Pizzeria, right? You know, like right around the little block there. So if you're in New York and you're a tourist, if you're listening, that's a nice area worth visiting. Okay, speaking of prices, I went to Pret a Manger the other day, okay, and I wanted a large black coffee. I don't know if like the prices, they just keep going up and up and up, but how much do you think I paid for a large black coffee? Just black. You know, I'm drinking it like a boss these days. It was like $5.35. Yeah. Maybe it was $5.45. I threw the like in there because I wasn't really sure on the change side of things. You know what I'm saying? But over $5 for a black coffee. I mean, how much are you charging for a cappuccino? Like, just out of curiosity. You know, that actually takes some effort to make with the milk and the... It's a really? Really? Please. I can't. When I was at Faico's, by the by, I paid $6.99 a pound for chicken cutlets. I can get a pound of chicken cutlets, or I can get a cup of coffee at Pret a Manger. And by the way, the coffee there, not even good. It's like, tastes like swill, okay? Ugh. Okay. So ashes on Ash Wednesday. Did you get your ashes on Ash Wednesday? I texted my girlfriend Priscilla on Ash Wednesday. And I said, I texted her at like 7 o'clock. I said, did you get your ashes? And she said, no, I was caught up, blah, blah, fine. I said, I said, Priscilla, I went to 2 churches. They both turned me down for ashes. 2 churches, you turned me down for ashes. Why? What, like, are ashes, like, is it not cool anymore? Is it, like, not a thing anymore? Like, I don't even know. Wait, you'll die. So I go to Our Lady of Pompeii, right? I get there at like 5:30 p.m. I was doing a spot at 7. So I couldn't stay for the 6:30 mass. But I thought if I get there 5:30, I'll sit, I'll wait, for like 40 minutes in the pew. Surely somebody's going to come out with the ashes, right? So I see this lady, and she works for the church. And I said, I'm going to work soon. Is it possible if I can get ashes now or, right before the mass? I'm fine to wait till 6:30, whatever. And she says, no, sorry. You have to stay for the whole mass. Okay. Catholics are dropping like flies. Why wouldn't you just let people get ashes if they want to get ashes? Like, this doesn't make any sense to me. And then the Catholic Church wonders why they can't get young people or younger people to keep the faith or go to church. Like, I'm not young, but I'm youngish. I'm young with the ish, and I'm walking in here to do what I got to do, and they turning me down. So I'm automatically annoyed. I'm automatically like, this is why nobody even wants to go to church. So fine, I leave. I go uptown. Okay, there's like, I don't know, a 10-block walk up 6th Avenue. There's another church, right? I forget the name. St. John. I don't know what the name is. Well, who cares? Go into that church. They have the doors closed and the doors locked. And now it's me and another lady standing in the vestibule. And I said to the lady, I said, are you here to get ashes? And she says, yeah. She said, they're not doing them. The mass starts here at 7, and you have to, attend the mass, and they'll give you the ashes at the end of the mass. And she said, I'm going to try to talk to them. Okay. Priest comes to the door, opens the door, and she makes her, her plead for ashes. And I said to him, look, I'm on my way to work. I just wanted to get the ashes. Do you think it's okay if, like we come in? And he says, no, you have to stay for the whole mass now. He said, this is a thing. He said, maybe years prior we were just giving ashes all day, but, post-COVID, we want everybody to stay for the mass. He said, but there are ashes to go. He said, there are places dotted around Manhattan that are giving ashes to go if you want your ashes on the run. This is what the Catholic priest is telling me at church. Want ashes on the run? Go to a little pop-up booth. It's like, on what planet am I living on? I don't understand. It's not like I'm walking into church saying, can I get a snack? Can you throw some host down my throat? I'm just like, it's Ash Wednesday. It's the start of the Lenten season. Maybe you could do a little cross on the forehead. Is that too much to ask for? So guess what? Guess who didn't get ashes? Me. And you know what? I don't even care. I literally don't even care. Because that was such a pain in the ass. And then my friend Billy, he told me when I went to work, he told me that his church had made him wait. His church in the Bronx made him wait the full mass. And they had the donation baskets out. And all the candle stuff, the candles, you could light the candle, they were off. They only were going on if you put the dollar in. I don't know what's going on. I got an idea. If you're that hard up for money, the church, why don't you just try to appeal to the younger generations? Maybe you'll make more money, get more donations in. Just a thought. It really rubbed me the wrong way because, I'm a little bit of a cafeteria Catholic. I go on the holidays. I don't have time to go on the weekends. I mean, how many things can I do? I will pray to my God whenever I feel like praying. I don't need to go to a church to do that. But it annoys me that Ash Wednesday, if you want to just walk in, you turning people down. Ashes to go. What is this? The drive-through? It was ridiculous. Okay. Anyway. The Writing Tips Institute recently did a poll about accents. Okay, they did a poll about the New York accent, and they polled locals, and they said, how many of you want to keep the New York accent? How many of you want this accent to be marked in history, to say this is the New York accent? We should preserve this accent. 60% of local New Yorkers said that they want to keep the New York accent. They do not want people to lose it. They don't want it to fade off. They want people to still say, what are you talking about? The mozzarella. What are you doing? Forget about it. That they want that. They want that. I don't know why. I don't know why the accent lessens. I'm assuming it's like the diaspora. People move away. Blah blah. But here's the interesting thing. Okay, 60% of local New Yorkers want to keep this accent. I would be curious to see the geo breakout of that survey, because I don't know how many Manhattan people responded to that survey, because in Manhattan, I sound like I just walked out of Central Casting, okay? I sound like a novelty act around the city. People are like, wait, can you say that again? I don't even think it's a big thing, but, it's because when you go to Staten Island, you go to Long Island, some people are throwing out the sandwich, some people are saying 1, 2, 3. Some people really have the old-timey accent, but there is nobody living in Manhattan that I have met in almost the 20 years that I'm here that has had a New York accent. And then when you go interview at jobs, years ago, I remember I interviewed at Hearst, right? Hearst Magazines. I was interviewing there for the head of digital sales. Huge job. It was for corporate. I think the job was the senior vice president of digital sales. Great. And the lady, I had an interview with HR. She was very sweet. And then I met with another lady who she would have, I guess, been my boss. She lived in Greenwich, Connecticut. And she was a big group publisher or something. And she said to me, wow, you really have a New York accent, don't you? And there I was trying to put on my fancy voice. And I realized, I've always realized, it does act as a hindrance. So it's interesting when you meet it's interesting when I heard the results of the survey. It's like all these people want to keep the accent, but It's not so welcomed everywhere you go. Just saying. Just a thought. Okay, you're going to die. This is the coolest thing ever that I found. There is a full stack developer, just some random kid out there in the web universe. And he made a really cool website. You are going to love this. If you like New York City, old pictures of New York, if you like just old things, taking a step back in time, if you liked Gilded Age or any of those shows, whatever it is. Okay, so back, so he made this website. Okay, so here's what he did. And this is the backstory on the website, between 1939 and 1941, the Work Progress Administration collaborated with the City of New York Tax Department. And basically what happened in this time period was they sent somebody out to each block and lot area in the city, and they took a photograph, okay? And they're archived, whatever. So this full stack developer, God knows how he came across this, but he did. And he created an interactive map online where you could click all the areas on the map in Manhattan and will pop up the picture from this 1939 to 1941 time period. What's cooler is that you can put an address in. So say, you're like me and say your family's from a specific area in Manhattan, like Greenwich Village, my family. I could put in their address and I could see what it looked like back in time. It's so cool. The website, I have everything right now. 1940s with an S .nyc. 1940s.nyc. The website's pretty rudimentary, to be honest, when you go to the website, but it's easy to use because it says search the address here. This is why I think the website was so cool. Not only to see my current apartment building, not only to see where my family lives, but if you put in addresses like Macy's, if you put in the Macy's address, if you put in, the stock exchange address, like landmarks, you see the cars on the street. Like everything looks, like my building, for example, looked the same, right? But my building was built at the turn of the century, but everything looks the same. But the cars on the street are those big honking cars from the 40s with the big wheels and everything. And then in some pictures, particularly in like the Macy's area or downtown, you see the clothes. They get people in the background of these tax pictures, these block and lot pictures. So you see people dressed, wearing, the hats and the suits and the women with the furs and the heels. And it just transports you. And the thing that I loved about this, 1940s.nyc, and thank you to that full stack developer that made that, is that you really feel like you're there. And if you're Italian and you want to really step back in time, start using the map in that Greenwich Village area, and you notice the street signs and the store signs in the background of all of these lots. And every single sign is an Italian last name. The bakery, the butchers, the everything. It's catering, restaurant, social clubs. It's so cool. It's so cool. And I was like addicted to this. I was addicted to this. Every dot on the map is another photo from the 40s, or the late 30s, 40s. So cool. So cool. You got to check it out. Okay. Moving on. My daughter, yesterday on the way to school, she had this song, one of my daughters, had this song stuck in her head from YouTube. I don't even know what it is. It was, she was like singing the song like, chicken nuggets and French fries, chicken nuggets and French fries. I said, Viv, what are you saying? What is this? And she says, oh, I got it from YouTube. I feel ancient saying this, but I don't know how I'm liking this YouTube consumption lately with the kids, okay? Like, I am very modern mother. Obviously, I'm stand-up comedian, I'm a co-parent. I'm raising my kids in Manhattan proper. We understand. We're a modern family. But I really feel like when my grandmother or my mom would say, don't sit too close to the TV, it's going to hurt your eyes. Like, that's how I feel when my kid is on YouTube, like for an hour or two. She's consuming things that I think are going to hurt her, just like how my grandmother would think that consuming the TV an inch away was going to burn my eyeballs out. I think that if she sits in front of YouTube, I think whatever's penetrating into that, it's going to just change, you know? Why can't we have, like, go back to the days of Sesame Street or Mr. Rogers, like when they're actually learning something? She's running around singing chicken nuggets and French fries. This is not educational for a 7-year-old. And, you know, the industry itself is understanding that this is a problem. The scrolling consumption. TikTok, just the other day, if you read, TikTok is putting a screen limit notification on its platform for users under 18. So kind of like, I think Netflix does it. It says, if you're watching Netflix, it might pop up and say, are you still watching? TikTok now will say, are you still watching or are you still scrolling? They said they're going to put that on for under 18. But I got news for you. That doesn't mean that they're going to stop the time, right? Of course they're not. They're not going to shut the app off. They're not going to have the app shut down for these youngins after 60 minutes of scrolling. No, that's the parent's responsibility, right? But the stuff that they're getting from this, it doesn't make any sense. It's all these like this. Oh, mommy, there's this YouTube challenge here. Oh, mommy, like I'm gonna do this dance. Like, I don't know. I'm okay when my kids watch the craft YouTubes because they make these like little miniature. They'll make like a little miniature taco. You know, it's cute. They'll do these, adorable painting things, and they'll say, "Oh, mommy, if we melt the crayons, like if you put crayons in the microwave and we melt them, and then we get blah blah." It's like, I like that, but I don't like this just senseless watching another kid play Roblox, or because it could be some creepy adult too. Anyway, and like, I don't even want to go there, but one of my daughters, she's twerking the other day. I said, "What are you doing? What is that move?" And she says, "I'm twerking. I'm twerking it." You twerk. You better twerk your butt all the way to the bedroom, because I don't even move like that. I don't even know how to move like that. Mommy doesn't even move like that. What are you doing? It's this effing YouTube. Okay, it's gotta go. I'm just gonna take it off the iPad. I'm on a diet, everybody. That shouldn't shock you. I saw my friend Ethan the other day. He's like, "You're always on a diet. Ever since I met you, you're on a diet." I said, "Yeah, I am. I'm forever on a diet. I have serious problems." And you know who else has serious problems? Anybody that's out there buying the Breville. Is it Breville or Breville? Or is it Breville? You know that brand. It's like the expensive Black & Decker. Anyway, I'm going to say it's Breville. They have a $1,000 countertop electric plug-in pizza oven. So, it's like the toaster oven on steroids for pizza. Okay, here's the thing. How much money and space do you have that you need a $1,000 countertop pizza oven? Just a thought. How many times are you eating pizza that you can't just get a pie in or go out and get a slice, right? Here's the thing that is crazy to me, besides the fact that it's $1,000. You can make a sheet pan pizza in the oven, and it's absolutely fabulous. You can go to the store. You can buy pizza dough. You can get a baking sheet. Put the olive oil on the baking sheet. Get the dough. Stretch it out. Whatever it is. I'm doing the motion. Make the pizza. Make that pizza into that square sheet pan. Drizzle olive oil on top, a little salt, a little sauce, and some cheese, right? And whatever, any spices you want, put it in the oven, 450, 15 minutes. There you go. You have a delicious pizza. You got to drizzle olive oil on the top before it goes in the oven. You have a delicious pizza. You can make Sicilian pizza, which is in the oven, which is, by the way, the same as regular pizza, except for the fact that the dough, the crust is thicker. So Sicilian pizza is like a focaccia, right? And you put the fingerprints in it. You could do everything in the oven. Why do you need a countertop pizza oven? I don't understand. Fine. So you buy this thing. Great. You want it. You love pizza. the selling points of it is you get the Neapolitan crust, they say. It said the selling points, you get the leopard spots on the pizza, which, those the darkest spots, just like you would in a pizza oven. My biggest problem with this is it's 750 degrees. It gets to be 750 degrees. Do you want something on your countertop? Do you want a metal box on your countertop that hits the temperature of 750 degrees? No, not me. Not me. First of all, you walk right past that thing, I feel like my eyelashes are going to singe off. Why do you want that? That is screaming house fire to me. I can't. Williams-Sonoma has it. They says I have here. Compact countertop oven can reach 750 degrees and cook authentic style wood-fired pizza in just 2 minutes. If you need a pizza cooked in 2 minutes, because that's how hungry you are, you got other problems. That's all I'm saying. Keep an Elyse in your freezer. Keep an Elyse in the freezer. Relax, will you please? I mean, relax. You need pizza in 2 minutes. I get it. We live in a now. Everything is immediate. We want constant consumption. We have no patience anymore. I get it. But if you need a brick oven style, I can't talk today. If you need a brick oven style pizza in 2 minutes, I don't know. I don't know what to say to you. You got other issues. My favorite pizza on the Upper East Side, I should tell you. San Mateo. It's on 2nd and 81st Street. That is delicious. They're so popular, San Mateo. You probably know it. But if you're in Manhattan and you're staying on the Upper East Side, or you want to venture into this area, San Mateo is a great place. And it's great to take kids because, they're Italian, so kid-friendly. The pizza's heavenly. The rest of the food's to die for. It's affordable, Yeah, pizza. I'm missing pizza. My mother has the condo in Florida, and the last time I went to Florida, in Naples, the last time I went there, I had shipped Lou Malinotti's to the condo as like a thing, like a housewarming or whatever it was. And Lou Malinotti's deep dish Chicago pizza, my mother loves it. I don't even think my mother's ever been to Chicago, but she's into the deep dish pizza, okay? She loves Lou Malinotti's pizza. So when she bought the condo for a housewarming gift, I had them send 6 pies, and I think we ate 3 of them because, we're Italian. And she froze the other 3. Lou Malinotti's pizza is absolute heaven. One slice is a whole meal. But of course, my family, we had 3 pizzas. I went to Lou Malinotti's when I would go back and forth for Chicago for work. There was a lot of digital agencies out there, and I ventured to Lou's, and there's another one, but I liked Lou's better. But they have a big business. That's a fun thing to do. That is a fun thing to do, right? If you want to have an idea of shake up things, a Friday night with your husband or your boyfriend or whoever, just have flown in pizzas from right around the country. I think that's fun. If you don't live in New York, you could get pizza delivered from New York. They fly it in. I don't know who does that here, but Lou's does in Chicago. I love it. Detroit pizza. Now, see, Detroit style pizza is like Sicilian pie. Detroit style pizza has that spongy, thick crust, that dough. It's like a focaccia. For whatever reason, I don't view focaccia as pizza. I don't love the Sicilian style pizza. I'll eat it, don't get me wrong. I like a Sicilian, but my preference, I like it thin. Not thin where it's burnt. I just like a regular New York slice. I like it where it's hardish, crispy at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Right? Thin. And then the crust is fluffy, but not fluffy in a doughy way. Like a hard crust, and you bite in, it's air / some dough, Oh, I love that. And I love just the cheese. And I don't like any oregano. I don't like any garlic. None of that schmutz on my pizza. Sometimes red pepper. And I like to blot the pizza, with the napkin. Oh, I love that. And you can only get that pizza, by the way, in Brooklyn and Staten Island, or maybe in Queens, maybe in Long Island. In the city, for the birds. You can't even find a decent slice. Anyway, moving on. Okay. if you don't like pizza, you could try umami crate. My ex-sister-in-law is Japanese. We don't talk anymore because my in-laws, they just don't like me, which is whatever. I don't. Why? How immature is that? My British in-laws, they just decided, I don't know. I was too different. It's so funny. These people. First of all, I like them for a lot of reasons, right? But my ex-mother-in-law and ex-father-in-law, they were proud people. They would pride themselves in being world travelers and accepting all the different cultures and being so interested in everybody all around, whatever. But then I showed up on the doorstep dressed in a leopard velour jumpsuit, lip liner, and a bouffant, and I was a horror show to them. They were like, who is here in Wales right now? They weren't so accepting of me. But you know who they loved? Kumiko, my ex-sister-in-law who was from Japan, Amori, Japan. She met her husband, the tooth, the brother of the tooth, boy the tooth, my ex. They met in Japan because my ex-brother-in-law was living there studying English. And then they met and they moved back to Wales, right? So that's where they live. And I was always fascinated every time I went to Kumi's house in Wales because in her kitchen, it was just obviously totally different than mine. It was much more sparse in the sense of food supply. But she always had all these very interesting noodles and rice and like dried things, dried fish, dried seaweeds, when she would pull out the drawer. And she always had it was just interesting. She had a rice maker on the counter. It was a totally different cultural kitchen. But I loved that. I was fascinated by it. I remember one time asking her, sitting down with a pen and paper, asking her, can she give me a Japanese recipe? And we tried to translate it into English. And I did. I made it. It was a Japanese fried chicken. And it was amazing. It was amazing. I think she's a very good cook of Japanese. I mean, I haven't really ate a lot at her house because, of course, she lived in Wales. But if you like Japanese food, there's this thing called umami crate. And it's like for $50 a month, you can get this box delivered. And it's like a ramen box. And there's, I don't know, recipes and recipe cards. And I think that's so cool. I think that's such a cool gift for a coworker. I came across it, I don't know, something I was reading in Times, New York, whatever. And I just thought, again, another fun thing to do, right? Another fun thing to do. Yeah. It's always hard when you're on a diet and all you do is think about food, isn't it? As I take a sip of this lukewarm, black, bitter coffee. Okay. Product of the week, the Theracane. That's like me saying, product of the week, Velcro sneakers. No, there's this product I've discovered on Amazon. It's called the Theracane. I didn't get it yet. I just needed to tell you about it. It's literally a cane. It's like a giant cane shape with these spokes coming out of it. A hard cane. It has over 7,000 reviews. It's like $40. And basically what it's for is if you are slumped over the desk all day long or if you're hunched over, whatever, you use this cane. You have this cane and it's apparently like a flat, hard cane, and you use it to get the kinks out of your back and stuff. People swear by this. And they say with everybody scrolling in the neck, always with the hunched over, down, face down, bring this Theracane to your office, have it in your home office, and then just throughout the day, just use it. Take the cane and put it on the back or on your neck and just use it to get out some of the kinks, give your shoulders a rest, whatever, loosen up the muscles. I'm going to get it. I'm going to try it. I mean, I have a lot of these massaging, I don't know, things you put on the neck. But I'm not, in an office 40 hours a week, hunched over, that kind of thing. I'm definitely in front of the computer 40 hours a week. I'm not in the office. What I'm saying is I could use a foam roller or something, in my house if I want. But I am going to try the Theracane. I think that it worked. I think that it sounds like it works good. It says it doesn't snap, it doesn't bend, it's hard. It's obviously not battery operated, so it's not like you have to schlep it around. And look, you know, I talked about the massage gun. You know, I have a massage gun. But the thing about the massage gun, I got that a year ago, is that you can't reach certain areas. You know, you need somebody else to do it. And it's kind of annoying to sit and be watching a show with somebody and be like, hey, can you massage my back with can you do the gun on my back? Can you put a gun to my lower back, please? I mean, it's not really so sexy. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. Bill Murray, quote of the day. My favorite thing about New York is the people, because I think that they're misunderstood. I don't think people realize how kind New York people are. Love you, Bill. Anyway, that's today's episode 133. I'm Elyse DeLucci. You're fabulous. I miss you and love you. Love to love you, baby.